Good evening and welcome to the evening news for today, Tuesday, January 4, 2021. I'm Jemima Holmes. Thank you for tuning in. Now let's take a look at some of the lead stories tonight. Sierra Johanna couple found dead in suspected murder-suicide. Gold miners stabbed to death following drinking spree. No big impact on service delivery, health minister says. Of COVID outbreak at GPHC. Baby born on New Year's Day at New Amsterdam Hospital dies. And Guyana in preparation mode for border case at ICJ in March. Now for the news in detail. The village of Sierra Johanna on the east bank of Demerara was on Tuesday morning plunged into a state of shock following the discoveries of the bodies of a newly wedded couple. In our lead story tonight, Bishop Mohammed reports that police are investigating the possibility of their deaths being a murder-suicide since the house was not ransacked, valuables remained intact, and the suspected murder weapon was found next to the dead husband and wife.
The bodies of Nicholas Lauchi and his wife, Sasha Das Lauchi, who got married in August last, were discovered at about 7 hours 30 today by an uncle who had gone to visit them at their Sierra Johanna East Bank Demerara home. The couple lived alone and was last seen alive on Sunday. The discovery has left relatives and friends baffled with a lot of questions as to the circumstances surrounding their demise. The Evening News understands that a 26-year-old man sustained a gunshot wound to his side while one was seen on the chest area of his 24-year-old wife. At the scene, curious onlookers gathered to get a glimpse of the bodies, but the detectives had cordoned off the area surrounding the single flat concrete house. The dead woman's father, who was still coming to grips with the incident, spoke with this newscast.
When I go into work this morning, I get a phone call that must come and say, John, that's something wrong with my daughter. And when I come in home, a guy stopped me and tell me how my daughter and she was going to shoot up on the rainy house. So when I come now, I see her go on the rainy bed, they there lay down. Yeah, they there lay down with they got a gun on the ground. She got hit on her chest, she got hit on the side. And there was after the police coming here to see what happened.
He stated that he was not aware of any issues between the couple. In fact, they visited him on New Year's Day.
I see me that remember New Year's Day. They left home at 12 o'clock. The night I'm only we had a little party and so. And I let the left come home. I had no problem. I catch it all the other day. The next day she said how the barbecue and chicken and so. So everything I asked me, what happened after.
He noted that he did not hear back from them. He too is not sure what transpired and is hopeful that some answers could be provided. The young man's mother, who was too distraught to speak on camera, told the Evening News that she saw him alive on Sunday after lunch. She explained that he was someone who did not tell anyone if anything was bothering him. She noted that they spoke for a while since she's expected to travel out of the country at the end of the month. The last thing she recalled telling him was to answer his telephone whenever he sees her calling. Meanwhile, persons in the area stated that on Sunday evening, persons in the neighborhood were setting off crackers and bombs, and as such they believe that the incident might have taken place around the same time. The couple was found on their bed with a suspected murder weapon, a gun, found near to them. The police are continuing their investigations. Bishop Mohammed, The Evening News.
Two gold miners, 29-year-old Sherwin Godet and 21-year-old Sean France, were on December 24 stabbed to death following a drunken brawl which occurred at a shop located at Nasano Landing, Region 1. Police have since issued wanted bulletins for suspects Kirtland Damon, called Carto, and Thomas Kite, called Taco. The gold miners, both of Pomeroon Region 2, were employed by a dredge owner who closed off operations for the Christmas season on December 23. The owner would have departed the camp, leaving the workers behind. At 11 hours on the day in question, the two victims were in the company of others consuming alcohol at Indra's shop. At around 22:30 hours that day, France got involved in an argument with a bartender at the shop. During the argument, he pelted a bottle to the ground. This resulted in a scuffle between him and the other persons at the shop. During the ordeal, France reportedly whipped out a scissors, which he used to attack persons who approached him. France reportedly attempted to stab a 35-year-old gold miner and licensed firearm holder who subsequently discharged a round in the air to quell the ruckus. However, it was then discovered that during the fight, a man identified as Devon Stahl, also known as Jubu, was stabbed to his abdomen, causing his intestine to protrude. When France and Godet were walking back to the camp, they were reportedly attacked by Kite and Damon, who is Stahl's father. Hosea Sandy, who was also returning to the camp, was stabbed to his back during the attack. He was treated for his injuries while France and Godet died. Meanwhile, Stahl was air dashed to the Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation, where he remains a patient. Amar Prasad joins us now to report that within the space of 24 hours, the country has recorded a whopping 485 new cases of the novel coronavirus. And according to Health Minister Dr. Frank Anthony, this trend is projected to continue. Here are the details.
Health Minister Dr. Frank Anthony has already disclosed that the Omicron variant is likely to be in Guyana, owing to the high rise in positive cases as of recent. Scientific confirmation is pending as samples are being prepared to be sent overseas for testing. Notwithstanding, the health minister is confident that the variant is here, pointing out that in the last 24 hours, a total of 485 new cases were recorded.
We can expect that this trend would continue because with the Omicron variant is highly contagious and it doubles, the numbers doubles every 4 days or so. You can see those numbers going up. So if people are not taking precautions, if people not wearing their mask, keeping their distance, being in ventilated room, wearing N95 masks, more and more people are going to get sick.
This now takes the total active cases to 1,824 cases.
So of the 1,824 cases that we currently have that are active, we have 1,138 that are in Region 4. We have 272 that is in Region 6, 148 in Region 3, 41 in Region 2, 78 in Region 9, 74 in Region 10. So you can see there's cases are going up around the country. And those cases, those regions where we have low cases, we're awaiting the results, the test results, because we have collected samples, but they have not been processed as yet.
Meanwhile, 411,735 or 80.3% of adults have received the first dose of a COVID vaccine, while 296,424 or 57.8% have received both doses. In terms of booster, 12,306 jabs have been administered. For children 12 to 17, 30,522 or 41.8% have received the first dose of the Pfizer vaccines, while 21,774 or 29.9% have been fully immunized. For the evening news, Amar Prasad.
Health Minister Dr. Frank Anthony today confirmed that there has been a mild outbreak of COVID-19 at the Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation, whereby a number of persons have tested positive for the novel coronavirus. Notwithstanding this development, he says there is no major impact on the delivery of services at the major health institution. Here is Amar Prasad again with the details.
So there are a number of persons who have tested positive, both doctors and other medical staff. We have been constantly monitoring and we have taken mitigation measures.
That was Health Minister Dr. Frank Anthony during his COVID-19 updates today, confirming that employees of the Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation (GPHC) have become infected with the novel coronavirus. While he did not reveal a number, the Evening News understands that the number of affected staff is over 100. However, the health minister said the situation does not greatly impact the hospital's delivery of health care. Testing is continuing among employees of the GPHC, And if the situation worsens, Dr. Anthony indicated that it may pose challenges regarding the delivery of health services.
It has not had a big impact so far on service delivery. But if more and more people get sick, well, then obviously it's going to have an impact. But so far, with the persons who got sick, we're monitoring them. Most of them are either asymptomatic or mildly symptomatic, and we expect that they will return to work shortly.
More information regarding this mild outbreak is not readily forthcoming, as several officials contacted claim to not have any data, nor are they answering calls made by the evening news. Research has shown that the Omicron variant is causing more severe symptoms among the unvaccinated. Dr. Anthony suspects that the variant is already circulating here. In fact, the minister on Sunday met with the GPHC's management to discuss additional measures to be taken to protect both patients and staff from the Omicron variant. For the evening news, Amar Prasad.
The country's COVID-19 death toll has climbed to 1058 after 2 more men died as a result of the novel coronavirus. The latest fatalities are a 60-year-old resident of Region 4 and a 38-year-old resident of Region 6. Both men were fully vaccinated. Meanwhile, the country has recorded 485 new cases of the virus, taking the total positives recorded to date to 40,639. There are 8 persons in the ICU, 62 in institutional isolation, 1,715 in home isolation, and 6 in institutional quarantine. Recovery stand at 37,796. Coming up, baby born on New Year's Day at New Amsterdam Hospital dies, and interviewing of applicants for remaining GCOM posts to begin next week. Do stay with us. More news ahead.
Planning a cleanup? We can help. Sevon's Waste Management skip bins can be provided for home renovation projects, yard cleanups, or construction sites. It's simple. Step 1, just pick up the phone and give us a call. Step 2, we deliver the skip bin size of your choice. Step 3, load the skip with all of your junk. And finally, step 4, we take it all away. It's that simple. Bins are also available in various sizes, so there's no job that's too big or too small. Call Sevon's Waste Management today at 218-1455 or 218-11.
Did you know that when you leave your property unoccupied and unmanaged, it deteriorates much faster than you can imagine? Then before you know it, much of your hard-earned investment is wasted. At Hand in Hand Trust Corporation, property management is our business. Whether you travel for long periods, live overseas, or have several properties that require managing, let us at Hand in Hand Trust Corporation take care of this for you. Your property is safe with us. Hand in Hand Trust Corporation Incorporated, a member of the Hand in Hand Group of Companies.
Welcome back. You're watching the evening news. The New Amsterdam Hospital in Region 6 started off the year with a stillbirth after a baby girl born on January 1, 2022, ended up dying as a result of bronchoaspiration of liquid meconium. Our Berbice correspondent Andrew Carmichael spoke with the grieving mother who lamented that her baby would have been alive today had the hospital paid more attention to her at the time of admission. Here's this story.
At around mid-afternoon on New Year's Day, officials at the New Amsterdam Hospital reported that there were 5 newborns while 2 mothers were in the delivery room. It was later reported to the media that the hospital had 6 babies born on New Year's Day and all deliveries were a success. However, one mother subsequently reached out to this newscast revealing that she had a stillbirth. The mother, 21-year-old Lisa Rambaran, believes her daughter's life could have been saved had the health professionals at the institution paid more attention to her during her time there. Rambaran of number 72 Village Quarantine Berbice traveled some 45 miles to the New Amsterdam Hospital on December 31st, 2021 after complaining of feeling unwell. She was 40 weeks pregnant and was due to give birth on January 10th. When she arrived, she told medical staff of her situation and she was reportedly advised to return the following day, but after the woman explained where she traveled from, they decided to admit her. Sometime after midnight, Rambaran went into labor and she did not deliver her baby until about 16 hours 30 on New Year's Day.
When baby head come out, the shoulder was stuck. And the shoulder was stuck and it was massive. And the baby was very big. The baby was 9 pounds, 5 pounds. Comparing to other baby that I see, my baby was very big. And other girls that had C-section, their baby was small. And my baby was like, their baby and my baby, their baby gotta come like 2 times to make my baby. It was very big. I think if they did an ultrasound when they admitted, and they would know that baby even big and could have given me a C-section, that would have pleased me. But what I go through, I wasn't pleased.
The Health Department in Region 6 has been under the microscope after similar incidents at the maternity department were not reported until the media highlighted them. Rambaran is of the view that had due care and attention been paid to her at the time of admission, things could have been different, a view that her aunt also shares.
The people I'm set for Skellen Hospital, the clinic, tell her, you're so many weeks pregnant and your baby have 7.5 pounds. Are you going to look on this child belly and say, doctor, you educated, you have sense, you know everything. Didn't you see this child belly and know this child here look like he get more than 2 kids? No, sonogram sometimes make mistake. So I don't know why didn't they take her for a sonogram the minute she land there.
I can't catch myself because at this moment I thought I would have kept my baby for whole. But today we are doing a funeral for baby and I can't even hold baby.
This is the second child delivered by Rambaran, who is currently a mother of a 1-year-old son. On January 1st, 2014, the New Amsterdam hospital also recorded a stillbirth. The mother, Natalia O'Brien, was 39 weeks pregnant at the time. For the Evening News, Andrew Carmichael.
Guyana is in full preparation mode for the upcoming border case before the International Court of Justice, which is scheduled for March. Gerald Bryan reports that Guyana is expected to submit its memorial on its border controversy with Venezuela when the case comes up again.
During his New Year message, President Dr. Irfan Ali spoke of his government's preparations for the Guyana-Venezuela border controversy case. Specifically, Guyana was given the date of March 8, 2022 to submit its memorial on the case to the International Court of Justice, ICJ.
My fellow Guyanese, following the ICJ ruling on the jurisdiction in the case regarding the Guyana-Venezuela controversy, we have been putting all our efforts in preparing to submit our memorial on the merits of our case by March 8, 2022. We will not rest in our efforts to preserve our sovereignty and territorial integrity.
President Ali also assured that on the foreign policy front, his government would continue to enhance Guyana's international profile.
Equally, we will continue to be a responsible member of the international community, enhancing our profile at the regional and international levels.
After a failed good offices process between Guyana and Venezuela, the case had been referred by the United Nations to the ICJ in 2018. Back in March 2021, ICJ had granted Guyana until March the 8th of this year to file its written submissions for the case. Venezuela, which has been obstinate in its refusal to accept the ICJ role in the matter, was also given until March the 8th, 2023 to submit its counter-memorial. Venezuela is laying claim to more than 2/3 of Guyana's landmass in Essequibo and a portion of its exclusive economic zone in which more than 9 billion barrels of oil have been discovered over the past 6 years. Gerald Bryan, The Evening News.
The growth in the oil and gas sector is having a ripple effect in other sectors, including the aviation and maritime sector, and it is expected that as more floating, production, and storage offloading vessels enter Guyana's waters, the expansion will only continue. Here is Gerald Bryan again with the details.
During his recent contribution on the local content bill, Public Works Minister Juan Edghill drew comparisons between Guyana's maritime and aviation sector pre- and post-oil production.
Before oil and gas, we used to see about 7 to 10 ships making a call at Port Georgetown on a weekly basis. 7 to 10 ships on a weekly basis. Today, we are making an average of 52 ships making calls at Port Guyana. Expansion in the maritime sector. With just one FPSO in play right now, and the service ships that have to go out and come in, and the supplies and the rest of it, there is major development.
He also noted that with the expansion and even more FPSOs joining the oil sector, more people will benefit from the ripple effects of oil and gas. Edghill also revealed that the Sea and River Defense Board has been approving a number of investors looking to set up facilities to service the offshore developments.
We have a new development in Guyana in the aviation sector. Rotary craft have to be out and in of our airports. And that was with one FPSO. When you have several offshore Guyana, more companies will have to come to Guyana to get people out and in using helicopter services and the rest of it. It means more people have to be fed, more people have to be accommodated, because when they're on rotations, there must be apartments, there must be places for them to stay. If there are apartments, these apartments need to be maintained. There needs to be landscaping.
ExxonMobil has said it anticipates at least 6 projects offshore Guyana will be online by 2027. This includes the Liza Phase 2, for which production will start this year, the Payara, and the Yellowtail developments. Gerald Bryan, The Evening News.
Reviewing the shortlist and possibly interviewing applicants for the remaining positions that have to be filled in the Guyana Elections Commission, GECOM, is expected to commence when the Commission meets again next week. Here is Gerald Bryan once more with the details.
GECOM held its first statutory meeting for the year today, where discussions focused on old minutes and the first report prepared by Chief Elections Officer Vishnu Prasad. There is also the matter of filling the remaining vacancies in the Secretariat, including the Deputy CEO position. In an interview with this newscast after the meeting, GECOM Commissioner Bibi Shadiq explained that the process for interviewing will start next week.
Well, we're going to begin to do the shortlisting on we're going to begin to do the shortlisting on, to go through all the shortlists we have and like we did with the CEOs. So we may be further able to resolve something.
When it comes to preparations for local government elections, Shadiq noted that the Commission has not started detailed discussions on this. However, she noted that the CEO report does reference the holding of LGE and the process involved. Besides the DCEO position, GECOM also has to fill several other key senior positions within the Elections Secretariat. These positions include Deputy Chief Elections Officer, Assistant Chief Elections Officer, Chief Accountant, Legal Officer, Logistics Officer, and Civic and Voter Education Manager. Vishnu Prasad was appointed as CEO of GECOM in December. He replaces Keith Lowenfield, who was fired in August. Lowenfield and other officials are currently before the court on electoral fraud charges in relation to the March 2020 elections. Gerald Bryan, The Evening News.
And now for a look at the bridge reports.
The Demerara Harbour Bridge is scheduled to be closed on Wednesday, January 5th at 4 hours for a period of 1.5 hours. Meanwhile, the Beverage River Bridge is scheduled to be closed on Wednesday, January 5th at 6 hours 15 for a period of 1.5 hours.
It was getting a bit iffy, Ramson says, about weather threat to Under-19 World Cup hosting, and Badminton Academy program gets underway. Details of these stories and more in the Sportcast, sponsored by MacCorp, coming up on the other side of the break.
Massey is by your side as we continue the fight against the COVID-19 pandemic. In collaboration with OneCart, you can now get your groceries delivered or you can pick up curbside. Call, email, or WhatsApp your order to us. This service is available at both Providence and Turkine locations. Delivery and pickup between 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. The fee is based on location. Orders must be paid in cash and placed 24 hours in advance. Special conditions apply. Remember to always protect yourself and those around you by wearing your masks. Also, don't forget to wash your hands and maintain a distance of 6 feet at all times around persons. Massey Stores. Our family serving your family.
Looking to bring your dream home to reality or simply taking on a home improvement project? Then National Hardware Limited is where you should start. Let us put that touch to your home. Choose from over 1,000 Berger Paint original hues for any surface. We are known for our trusted brands such as Westinghouse, Philips, Satco, Rubbermaid, Pyrex, Gibson Home, and so much more. National Hardware Limited, your do-it-best store, located in downtown Georgetown and industrial site Rijnveld.
Get the right seal right now from Industrial Supply of Guyana, Inc., your immediate SKF sealing solutions. The SKF Seal Jet Machine is capable of building seals from 5mm to 600mm in diameter in under 5 minutes. With technical support readily available, you can get a customized seal to suit virtually any industrial application, like buffer, rod, wiper, and piston seals. SKF Seal Jet Machine, now at Industrial Supply of Guyana, Inc.
Welcome back to this evening's Sportcast, sponsored by MacCorp.